oasis for the rich. Listen, have you ever wondered why Dubai looks like it was built by a kid who just discovered cheat codes in The Sims? Seriously, I want the tallest stick in the world. Boom, the Burj Khalifa. I want an island shaped like a palm, so I have somewhere to park my yacht. Sure, here you go. Sign right here. In our global game called Planet Earth, this server has always been the flashiest one. Gold textures loaded before you even had time to pull out your wallet. And the physics engine worked on a simple rule. If you've got money, gravity doesn't apply to you. For decades, this place was the ultimate safe harbor. While players on other servers were dealing with lag, inflation, and dumb updates, everything in Dubai ran on ultra settings. All the planet's top donors flocked here. They thought they had purchased permanent VIP status and protection from any bugs in the universe. But as they say, when the admins decide to reinstall the operating system, even a golden toilet won't save you. In March 2026, this server hit such a massive blue screen of death that the entire planet saw sparks. Today, we're going to break down how the safest place on Earth suddenly turned into a zone with the wildest ping imaginable. Admins couldn't share the socket. Let's be honest, who's responsible for all this? Of course, the admins. In this region, we have two main moderators who hate each other more than you hate your alarm clock on Monday morning. Admin Blue is like that old guy who believes he's the lead game designer and can ban anyone he wants. He slapped Admin Red with a bunch of filters, blocked access to the store, and generally tried to delete his account. But the Red admin turned out to be quite the hacker. Instead of whining, he went down into the basement and started writing messy scripts. Why build one expensive server when you can mass produce millions of cheap bots that simply spam your neighbor to death? Throughout February, they were basically throwing digital garbage at each other in chat. But by the end of the month, the Blues decided to launch a preventive strike against the Reds' data center. The response came instantly. The Reds activated the protocol, "I've got nothing to lose," and they decided to crash the Blues' most expensive monitor, our beloved Dubai. Main cable. Now let's have a quick geography lesson for those who spent school drawing in their notebooks. See that narrow gap on the map? That's the Strait of Hormuz. In our simulation, that's the main power cable. Through this tiny opening flows oil, the black gold that keeps your smartphone charged and your pizza delivery moving. Roughly 1 out of every 4 barrels of oil in the world passes through here. Now imagine the Red admin saying, "What if I just cut that cable?" And he started installing his blockers there. For the global economy, that was basically a heart attack. Oil isn't just liquid. It's fuel for the entire engine of our system. The moment the strait started freezing up, oil prices jumped so high that Elon Musk probably choked on his coffee. Tankers, those giant flash drives full of fuel, got stuck in traffic, afraid they might get formatted along the way. And while the admins compared pixel sizes, ordinary people around the world started losing their minds over gas prices. Oil, fuel of the source code. In our simulation, oil isn't just fuel. It's crafting energy. Everything around you, the plastic in your phone, fertilizers for food, medicines, clothing, is either made from oil or produced with its help. When the admins squeezed the Strait of Hormuz in March 2026, the system suddenly faced a resource shortage. Imagine if in Minecraft, coal and wood suddenly disappeared. Oil prices jumped so high that the chart basically shot past the Burj Khalifa. But price wasn't the only problem. The real problem was logistics lag. Ships stopped moving. Factories started returning error. If you don't have the energy to keep servers running, your digital economy quickly turns into a pumpkin. Dubai felt this immediately. A city that exists as a global showcase of consumption suddenly realized its display window was emptying out because the supply of energy for life was blocked at the entrance to the Gulf. Ships carrying fruit, meat, and other perishable data packets simply started rotting. It was a perfect demonstration of how just-in-time logistics works. If one node in the chain fails, the entire chain turns into garbage. We've gotten so used to everything appearing with a mouse click that we forget. Behind every click, there's a real ship and a real strait. Fly swatters and flying bugs. On March 1st, 2026, the sky above Dubai stopped looking Instagram ready. Thousands of unauthorized objects entered it. Small, buzzing black triangles. These were the cheap scripts from the red sector. They flew low and confidently like they had unlimited travel passes. That's when the city's fly swatters turned on. Those flashy defense systems the rich paid billions for. It looked like a disco in hell. Beams, flashes, explosions. The fly swatters tried to delete the incoming viruses directly in midair. But here's the problem. In a video game, debris disappears. In reality, it obeys gravity. Red-hot metal started raining down onto golf courses, swimming pools, and the roofs of shopping malls. Imagine the face of a guy who bought a $50 million penthouse, and suddenly a piece of red script crashes straight into his jacuzzi. That was probably the best anti-marketing campaign in history. The airport, one of the main global hubs, simply returned error 404. Planes were circling in the air like glitched models, not understanding where they were supposed to land. Life under the fly swatters. Life in the frozen Dubai started to feel like a survival quest. Just to fill up your car, you basically needed connections at the admin level. Gas station lines started looking like iPhone launch queues, except instead of excited fans, there were angry guys in golden sports cars, ready to rip each other apart for 5 extra liters of fuel. Air conditioners began working on and off because the main cable was delivering energy in limited bursts. And Dubai without AC, let me tell you, turns into a serious sauna. The rich, who were used to the perfect temperature of 72 degrees Fahrenheit, suddenly remembered they were actually living in the desert. It turned out that without electricity, all those glass towers quickly transform into giant ovens. You're sitting on the 90th floor. The elevators don't work. The pool water has turned green. Outside your window, system errors are flying through the sky. Isn't this the paradise you dreamed about when you moved here? Crypto mammoths and digital hunger. Now, let's remember our favorite crypto lords. Dubai was basically their global headquarters, remember? Yacht parties, endless talks about Web3, and confident speeches about how traditional money was about to die. Then, March 2026 arrived. The red admin pressed the button called Disable Internet on several nodes, and suddenly we got to see something fascinating. Picture this. A super successful guy sitting in a luxury penthouse. His cold wallet holds millions in Bitcoin, but he can't even buy a damn burger. Why? Because the payment terminal downstairs shows connection error, and the local Wi-Fi is only picking up interference from the fly swatter defense systems. It was probably the greatest prank in financial history. All those guys screaming about decentralization were the first ones running around, looking for old-fashioned pieces of paper with presidents' faces on them. Because someone will trade you a can of gasoline for cash. But for your unique NFT of a sad monkey, at best, you might get punched in the head. Turns out blockchain is amazing, as long as there's electricity in the socket. But once the admins start pulling on the cable, your crypto wallet turns into a pumpkin faster than Cinderella's carriage. Investor trap. For years, many investors believed Dubai real estate was basically a save file in a video game. You buy an apartment and it will always be there, always increasing in value. But March 2026 reminded everyone of a harsh truth. Real estate is just a set of pixels tied to one specific location. If that location suddenly becomes toxic, your property may still be worth millions on paper, but in reality, nobody wants to live there. When the sky above your house turns into a permanent air defense show, renters disappear very quickly. Investors began trying to dump their properties as fast as possible. Listings appeared everywhere with desperate offers and huge discounts. It became obvious that the real value of an asset isn't the number written in a brochure. The real value is whether you can take it with you when the server starts crashing. Suddenly, small portable assets like gold looked far more attractive than ownership of a giant glass apartment tower sitting in the middle of a potential conflict zone. The rich flee. By the second week of March, the great exodus of wealthy residents had begun. Many of the investors, entrepreneurs, and consultants who had moved to Dubai for safety suddenly realized something uncomfortable. A golden cage is still a cage, especially when the lights go out and transportation becomes uncertain. Prices for flights out of the region skyrocketed. Private jets became the fastest escape route, but seats on those flights were extremely expensive. Airport parking lots slowly filled with abandoned luxury cars. Some owners simply left them behind in a hurry to reach departing flights. It became clear that having millions in a bank account doesn't help if there are no available ways to physically leave a location. The reputation of Dubai as the ultimate safe haven began to crack almost overnight. Sector K and its clever plan. Meanwhile, another global player was watching the situation very carefully: China. Instead of jumping into the confrontation, Chinese companies and suppliers focused on business opportunities created by the crisis. As supply chains became unstable, demand for electronics, spare parts, batteries, and infrastructure equipment increased dramatically. While other players were busy arguing and escalating tensions, Chinese manufacturers simply adjusted their prices and continued selling essential equipment to whoever needed it. In many situations throughout history, when two rivals are busy fighting each other, a third party quietly benefits by strengthening its economic position. Final, who's really the fool? Looks like the sky has calmed down a bit. The admins are chatting privately, trying to agree on a peace patch. Dubai is pretending like nothing happened. They're painting walls, fixing roofs, luring new suckers with discounts. But we remember, who's to blame? If you ask the blue admin, he'll say, the reds are cheaters. If you ask the red, they'll answer, the blues are monopolists. But the truth is, both are guilty. They got so carried away with the battle for admin rights that they forgot about the regular players. The conflict started over some small thing. Someone took a tanker from someone else. Someone added new sanction filters. But because the whole system is tied to one node, this tiny bug grew into a full-scale global crash. Trust isn't the kind of file you can restore with an undo button. March 26th showed that we're all just users on one buggy server. And if the main moderators decide to test their strength, your cozy little world will turn into a pile of broken pixels overnight. What does this teach us? Don't keep all your eggs in one cloud. Know where the exit button is. And most importantly, don't rely on the golden dome. It doesn't exist. Protect your data, avoid lag, and hope the next update won't be so harsh. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to save on time. Bye.